Yeah.
which is nice. Like, I think every DPS is played. Okay, you're freaking me out. Why are you looking so intently that way? Am I on that screen?
You're on both this screen and this screen. So I was not comfortable this way anymore, so I turned this way. Did it just look like I was staring into the
Yeah,
distance?
it kind of freaked me out a little bit. And there we go. You look kind of Mormon like that. Do you build barns in your free time?
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, welcome back to the Broverwatch podcast. My name is Adam Cook, and as always, I'm joined by Calder Amos Wood. Calder, how you doing?
I'm pretty good.
I'm doing okay. So, we had quite a week of games this week, boy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Quite a week of
Yeah, we
games.
did. Emotional, crazy. Went semi how you could expect. Jesus, dude. My roommates are currently planning a surprise party for a girl who's having a party for her birthday on Friday, but the surprise party is going to be Tuesday. And I can say this because she definitely doesn't watch the podcast.
Yeah, I was about to say, oh, what if she watches? But
yeah, definitely not a thing.
But yeah, it was a doozy of a week with a lot of games. It kind of it results wise it went about as expected, but as far as each game's results went, kind of a little surprising, which we'll get into. There's not really any news this week. Not much has changed from last week other than these games happened.
There's a weird controversy about like Overwatch League viewership numbers. But I don't think that really matters at all.
No. Some people are talking about like people will see like 98,000 or see like 101,000 and be like, it's kind of low, and it's like, not really, especially when you take into consideration everyone who's viewing not on Twitch and
on TV
and who watches VODs and who's viewing in like China and stuff or watching the Korean stream.
Yeah, like the Russian stream also always, when games are going, has like 12,000. Cause I know that because I get recommended it every day.
Yeah, so like it's just spread out, so they're doing well. But a lot of people like to poo-poo on it. But let's get into the games. I can't remember what we predicted last week, but I'm pretty sure we can remember pretty easily because we disagreed quite a bit.
We both predicted the shock, but I think you said like Atlanta would win, like little things that really didn't end up mattering at all.
I said like Hangzhou would beat, or Atlanta would beat Hangzhou, but then lose to Shock or whatever. I said that New York would win, or beat Vancouver. So yeah, I guess the only difference is I said that Vancouver would be out and New York would be in. But let's just go into the games. So Atlanta lost to Hangzhou 4-0.
They're kind of boomed.
They got kind of boomed.
You could tell that they weren't doing that well in the old upstairs.
The match itself wasn't an absolute crusher. Like, it was somewhat close. It's just Atlanta kind of got hardcore boomed on the first map. Yeah. And we've said this many times, and it's been said by like the desk and by casters and stuff. Atlanta's kind of a momentum-based team. When they are doing well, they thrive and they like crush it because they're like, oh, chat energy, right? But when they lose, they just dive bomb and they all look so sad and they tilt. Basically, they're easily tiltable. They're a very emotional team.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Hangzhou also just looked pretty good. They looked pretty good. Godsby was kind of crushing it. Bazi.
Well, Hangzhou's like increasing in. They slowly were getting better, right? Like they always do.
Yeah. Bazi was an insane doofus.
Biggest blister ever on my heel.
Absolutely disgusting, maybe.
Oh, it's like a waterbed.
Please, no.
You ever been on a waterbed?
No.
Let's check.
No.
Other heel's okay.
Okay, but yeah, this week kind of turned into just who has the best Doomfist.
Yeah. Well, for a part of it.
Because, like, last week it seemed like who has the best Sigma was the winner. and then this one
Yeah.
was who has the best Doomfist.
In like Atlanta, well, Atlanta Hangzhou, it was kind of clear that that was what it is. With Shock, well, I guess you can't really say this about the Shock, but the Shock were just better than pretty much every team. Like they
Yeah.
had strategies for every map, and they knew how to perfectly execute those strategies and turn around losing fights.
Yeah. When they faced Gladiators, it wasn't a terrible game for Gladiators. It was just clear that Shock is the better team.
Well, it was kind of like that for all the Shock games this week. Like
Yeah.
Hangzhou didn't really get like crushed, even though it was a 4-0.
Yeah.
The Shock were just able to.
You're jumping around to every
everything.
game.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Well, sorry, I'll just
No, it's
fucking
fine.
shut my mouth.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's fine.
Bring
It's
me the
fine.
knife, I'll
Hey,
cut
it's
my
fine.
dick
It's
off.
fine. It's fine.
Cut my dick off.
But yeah, against Gladiators look good, but San Francisco was just much cleaner. This was kind of like them showing like, because London's was a decent team, but it was pretty obvious that they were going to beat London. So this was kind of their first match to be like, guys, even though we lost to Atlanta, we're still the best team. So they kind of showed that in another 4-0.
Yeah. So since losing to Atlanta, they have won every game 4-0.
Yeah.
And they're going to win the grand finals 4-0, boys.
Yeah.
Is the grand finals just one game?
Not sure. I guess we'll get into that.
Well, it's only scheduled as one game, which I
Maybe it
don't
is.
like.
We'll see. I think it's going to be a best of 7. Or first to 7.
First 2-7?
Maybe it'll be first to 5.
Well, what
I
are
don't
these,
know.
best
We'll
of 4?
find out, won't we? But New York versus Titans, the only non-4-0 of the week. And this was a really close, really good game. And honestly, this game kind of just showed how important Sabiel B is to this team's success.
Yeah.
Because when they were kind of in a slump in stage 4 and like kind of stage 3, the main thing they'd changed was they took Sabiel B out.
Yeah.
And then they put him back in at like end of stage 4-ish, and they started to kind of be another crusher team again. It's just that leadership quality that he has, as like obviously technical skill, but that leadership quality that he has that really helps. And that could be fully seen when Flower came in for the...
I think
Was it the 7th
fourth
map?
Oh,
4th map. Was it?
I don't really remember.
There's a way to find this out.
Oh, it was the 4th map against Shock. Are you talking about like the hand thing when they were holding hands all cute
Oh yeah,
and stuff?
I'm thinking yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. So we'll get to that in a sec. But TZ played instead of Bumper, which was expected.
Well,
he's
he's
been
been
doing
playing.
that. And looked pretty strong. Titans ever so slightly beat New York. After this match, a lot of people were like, "Ooh, Titans."
New York hasn't
or
choked
New
this whole
York
playoffs.
choke. New York choke. Classic choking sign. Haha, New York choke. This was not a New York choke. They looked really, really good. Like on Numbani, Vancouver Titans map,
I guess not anymore.
they both pushed it to 3rd, and then New York pushed it to 3rd again, and then they full held Titans.
Yeah.
Full held Titans on their map. Like New York did not choke. So everyone's saying that.
Shut up, idiots. I hate you.
Not
you.
Hangzhou.
That's really racist.
Okay, dude, that's not what I was doing even a little bit. Hangzhou versus San Francisco Shock, another 4-0, as we've stated. Also, like Calder said earlier, like this wasn't a crush, even though it was a 4-0.
It might. Here's the thing. Also, it might have just felt like that because the Shock had to basically match what Hangzhou was doing. Because if you look at the scores, they're only 1 point ahead. Like,
Yeah.
I guess on Control they had to beat them.
Well, like on Temple
was
of
all pretty
Anubis, they both got both points, and then both got both points again, and then Shock got one.
And then they just
So,
held them.
Yeah. So that's close. They both got them twice.
Yeah.
On Dorado, both of them got all 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hangzhou got 1.
They got like 1.5.
Yeah, and then Shock did it.
And
so,
it was
like,
in overtime too.
Yeah. So really, and like even on Kings Row, they both got all points. So like most of the 4-0s this week, if not all of them, were close.
Yeah.
But they were just 4-0s.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Shock basically. And honestly, by this point, because I feel like one of the main things that made, other than the big C9, that made Atlanta come out on top against Shock was Gator's Sigma was just so much better than Choi's. But by this point, Choi's Shock, what am I saying? Choi's Sigma was...
He's probably the best.
Top tier.
We know he's the best one left, I think. I can say that with confidence.
Yeah,
out of him and
TZ.
TZ plays it, right?
I think so.
Why are we dumb?
We're dumb. But yeah, basically
Choi
upped his... And I think it's Kisoris, who is one of the...
No, Johnny plays Sigma.
Okay. But Kisoris, who's one of the Atlanta coaches, said on a vast stream, he's like, the main thing we noticed that we succeeded against Shock in was that Gator's Sigma was just so much better than Choi's, but Choi's looks really good now.
Yeah.
Because I think after that match, he was like, shoot, I really got to get good at this Sigma. And then he did.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Shock are all very adaptable, which is, I think, is like their key strength.
They have an adaptable roster,
and
adaptable players.
Yeah.
So
because New York, and we're just gonna smoothly transition over to the New York game, because when they were playing New York had a couple tricks that they do, like some Bastion stuff or like Far or something like that. But then Shock could just kind of match it or counter it easily.
Yeah.
And the thing that I like about the Shock with their roster is, they have about 85 DPS on their team.
Yeah.
They're kind of using all of them.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Like, I think every DPS is played. Okay, you're freaking me out. Why are you looking so intently that way? Am I on that screen?
You're on both this screen and this screen. So I was not comfortable this way anymore, so I turned this way. Did it just look like I was staring into the distance?
Yeah, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. And there we go. You look kind of Mormon like that. Do you build barns in your free time?
But yeah, I was talking to someone because because
you've got other friends and it's fine.
On live stream no, it was on Reddit, so indication that I don't have other friends.
Look at the dust on my keyboard.
XQC over here. So someone posted the clip of Stitch almost denying Jeff Kaplan a handshake. Posted it on live stream fails, and someone commented like, I don't watch Overwatch, but why are there so many players on each team? And basically people were explaining like, well, there's 6 per game, but you can have up to 12, blah blah blah. And I basically came in and was like, yeah, that's why the Shock are in the grand finals, because they've better than anybody mastered having a full roster and having each player on that roster not be a bench warmer.
Yeah.
At least to the most they can, because Nevix and
if you told me that Smurf was going to be playing a majority of the playoffs, I wouldn't have really believed you at all.
Yeah.
But he is, because we never saw him play, because the team was just like, well, I mean, we love you, Super, but Smurf's better at Orisa.
And I want to give a quick shout out to Sinatra, because when he came into the season last season, everyone was like, hey, he's just a Tracer one trick, he's not that good. And then he was good. He wasn't like, wow, but he was pretty good. And then this season, everyone was like, they've got way too many, or
DPS.
Like they've got too many DPS, and like it's Goats meta. He's just he's not going to be able to play because like it's Goats meta. And then he became the best Zarya in the league, And then Goat's Meta went away, and everyone was like, he's going to be benched now because there's better DPS on this team. And now he's playing a majority of the matches still because he's a really good DPS. And it's like, stop.
Yeah.
He's good.
Really?
Just admit he's good.
The biggest difference is that he can actually like handle people saying that, because he goes on Reddit and reads competitive Overwatch, or he did at least.
Yeah, like when he came in the first season, like even in his first match, like the first person he killed, he teabagged, and it was like, okay, that's a good example of just like who he is. Like he was a streamer, he was a kid streamer, but now he's like a professional player, so like he's matured a lot. The best example is like when they C9'd, like. If this was last year and he C9'd at like that point, he would have been like, and then he would have been like, why am I making like?
I don't know why you're making like gorilla Sasquatch.
That's what I was looking for. But like when it went to him, he was just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that dude, and then went and shook hands.
Yeah.
Like he's matured a lot, and his skills have also matured a lot. So. Just wanted to give that quick shout out to Sinatra. But yeah,
his body is so strong. I think that's why he's got such a good base on him.
Shock have easily the most deep
adaptable roster.
Yeah. Deep and adaptable.
Which is kind of weird to say when they don't have a single backup support.
Yeah, that's funny. Which is
I guess
why they have so many DPS, because they literally have.
It's probably because support has the least amount of like characters and character difference.
Yeah.
It's more of a mental thing than a mechanics thing.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's honestly, it just shows you how good Moth is.
And Violet too.
Well, let me finish. There's like almost every support player in the league is Korean. And of the ones that aren't Korean, most of them are mid to low tier.
This is probably Dogman.
But Moth is one of the best. So much to the point where he doesn't have a sub. I guess Dogman doesn't have a sub. He did have a sub, but he doesn't have a sub anymore. But
Dogman's team also isn't as good as the Shock.
Yeah. Okay, dude.
Well,
I agree with you, but don't say it. But yeah, Moth is just crazy good. He's like, there was even a point, I was watching a Vast stream, because I always watch a Vast stream along with the stream, and there was a point where Moth like jumped and like wall rode past the shield, and then like went to go back and then died, and Avast was like, did Moth just feed? Did I just see? I've never seen Moth feed before. Which like, it looked like an unintentional feed, but it kind of just goes to the point of like, he's always on his A game.
Yeah.
And he's among... It's kind of like when they put out a full Korean roster and Moth. It just makes you go, he's that good.
Yeah.
So.
Especially when there are other options, too.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there aren't, because he's so good. But he also came into the league pretty much unknown.
Yeah.
Which is kind of amazing.
Like, I remember when he was signed, everyone was like... Because it was around the same time as Sinatra, I feel like I remember.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, Sinatra! Also this Moth kid, but Sinatra!
And Super. Because Sinatra and Super came in the league pretty much the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
but people also kind of ignored Super.
They just said he was super bad, dude.
Super bad. Yeah, so those were the games. Let's predict the grand finals.
This
is going to take so long. Here, let me put Quickie Predickies up. Do your song.
Quickie Predickie.
All right, just one single Predickie. Who is going to win the entire... Yeah, it's going to be Shock.
What do you think the score is?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Good idea. Well, we were discussing earlier, we don't know how many games it is. And how many maps.
Wait, let's see. Oh, you can't even click on it.
Nope.
Grand finals. Also, why does it say week 3 grand finals? That's first of 4 maps.
So it's just one first to 4 game.
I don't like that. I liked it better last season where they had a series.
Where it was 2 days. I feel like the issue with that one was it was like a really close first day. and everyone was like, "Ooh, yeah." But it was clear that like London was not tired and Philly was, and then the next day it was just an absolute or no, didn't Philly win the first day?
No, London won both days.
Okay. Then
They only
London
did
came
2
back
days.
and they were like, I forget what happened. I feel like it was first to like 3, it was like best 2 of 3
It
games
was
or
3
something.
games, but London won both. London kind of crushed both.
Yeah. So I
Because
feel
London crushed Philly, and then everyone was
I
like,
remember now.
Philly looked like absolute
it
shit
basically
in that game.
seemed like they had like big plans like to make it this big event, and then the second day went by like just like that, and it was like, oh, it's over. Philly sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. But if I was them, I would do like, I don't know, I'd spread it out. Like one on Thursday, one Saturday, and then a Sunday game if needed.
Yeah,
I feel like that'd be more fun.
maybe. I feel like they're still figuring out. My guess is like the whole playoffs, and I liked how they did the playoffs this time with the play-in and everything. I really like that. But just knowing Overwatch League, they're probably going to change that whole thing next year.
I think they keep the playing tournament, but they change
The grand finals.
something about it. They might make it so that like the top 2 teams don't get a bye or something like that.
Maybe.
Um,
I don't know, man.
and
Anyway.
then they might. I'd kind of like it if they made it
So-
playoff series too.
So it's just one best of 4 game or first to 4 game.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna predict a 4-3 shock. I think it'll be 4-3 shock. I'm gonna say
4-1 shock.
4-2 shock. I'm gonna say 4-2 shock.
4-1 for me.
4-1 shock.
Yeah, baby.
What if it's just a 4-0 absolute stomp? That'd be funny. I'm gonna say
It'd be-
4-2.
It'd be one of the biggest turnarounds in all of sports history, going from literally one of the worst teams in the league last season to the absolute, no question, best team.
Yeah, I think.
The shock.
I want a 4-3. Whichever way it goes, I want it to go shock. But whichever way it goes, I want it to be a 4-3.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'll be a 4-2 shock. Because Hacksaw is just insane, but like just if you think about it, I know this isn't how games work, but New York faced Vancouver and it was really, really close. And then Shock faced New York and it wasn't close.
Yeah. The other like hidden element in this is that they have 2 weeks. Like it's not this weekend, it's next weekend.
Yeah.
So teams, I think you said this last week, but teams are basically going to be like, okay, here's our strategy. And then they're just going to see how they clash. And if the Shock has an amazing strategy or the Titans have an amazing strategy,
They're just going to
then
have to
they'll
adapt.
probably win. And I think if the Titans have a good strategy and the Shock have to adapt, they'll fare better than the Titans having to adapt.
Yeah, I think Shock are a bit more adaptable.
Yeah.
All right, we both predict Shock win. I say 4-2. Calder says 4-1. Can you do quickie predicky?
Quickie predicky.
All right. And we're going to call that the podcast. It's a pretty short one, but there wasn't much to cover, really. We'll be back to talk about the grand finals. Not next week. We'll figure out something for next week.
Yeah.
But we'll figure something out. But next week, we will be talking about the grand finals. And you and I are going to watch it together, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be fun. Maybe we can have a little bit of a watch party.
Just the
don't-
2 of us?
No, like bring other people, but they probably don't care.
Yeah, they won't care very much.
Where are we going to watch it? We can talk about this off stream.
We can watch it in my room.
Do you have a TV in your room?
I have a 2 monitor.
Oh, the size of a sock?
You can... Okay, dude, they're 27 inches or 24 inches or something.
Thank you, everybody, for watching this episode. Be sure to leave your feedback, whether it be comments or Whether it be comments, rating on iTunes or Spot, or you could like, comment, subscribe. Just share it with your friends.
Do it.
Honestly, we've been saying this, but probably the worst time to share it with your friends is after the season's done. But do it anyway.
Do it.
Thank you everybody for watching. Love you. Bye.
Or whatever that would be called.
I was looking at you, and then I was like, I feel like my face is absolutely limp, and I looked over at me, and my eyes were facing different directions.
Yes, I wouldn't say it's totally non-existent.
I've
but
never
it's
thought
not
I
something
think
that I
my
see very
face is limp
commonly.
before.
But would you see it if you're white?